Who is Strelitzia? Strelitzia is a character that was introduced to the third dimension in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. However, a lot of people who haven't played Union Cross may not know who she is, so let's talk about who Strelitzia is and go through her history. First of all, just quick, there is some disagreement on the pronunciation of her name. However, when I looked into it, every pronunciation I could find online was Strelitzia, so that's what I'm going with for now. We'll see what happens once English voice acting comes into play. Strelitzia was a Keyblade wielder in the time of fairy tales, the time before the original Keyblade War when the individual worlds weren't separated by darkness and were instead one great landmass, or, more specifically, the time that the events of Union Cross took place. During the events of Union Cross, Strelitzia grew a small crush on the player character, but never gained the courage to speak to them. To give some background quick, Master Ava was an apprentice to the Master of Masters. She was tasked with recruiting strongly light-attuned Keyblade wielders into a group called the Dandelions. They would go into an alternate timeline to avoid the Keyblade War and bring light into the future. However, they don't actually end up in an alternate timeline. They instead escape to a data backup of Daybreak Town, complete with data backups of everyone who had lived there. To lead the Dandelions, Ava was given a list of names by the Master of Masters who she would have to recruit as the 5 Union leaders. Strelitzia was one of these 5 chosen leaders. After being recruited by Ava, Strelitzia went to warn the player character of the impending Keyblade War. During her search, she was murdered by a darkness-possessed Ventus, who usurped her role as the Union leader. Her body dissolved and her heart floated away. Ventus would not be able to recall this event until later. After the Keyblade War, the Dandelions and Union leaders escaped into their alternate timeline safe haven. One of the Union leaders, Lauriam, is Strelitzia's older brother. If you did not play Union Cross, you may know Lauriam better as his nobody form, Marluxia. Strelitzia was completely absent from the New World, which greatly worried Lauriam, so he searched everywhere for her. Eventually, another Union leader, Brain, realized that Ventus was not intended to be a Union leader. Confronting him, Ventus searched through his memories and was able to recall the murder and usurpation he was forced into committing. Passed out after a fight with Maleficent, long story, Lauriam dreams of Strelitzia. His dream is interrupted by an ominous white-cloaked version of Strelitzia. He wakes up and goes to join his fellow leaders. Ventus tells Lauriam the truth of what happened to Strelitzia, sending Lauriam into a rage. However, the darkness that possessed Ven reveals itself, detailing its whole plan, including the murder of Strelitzia. This allows Lauriam to forgive Ven. Strelitzia briefly appears a bit later to ask Lauriam to let go of his negative emotions. Elrena, a friend of Lauriam and the somebody of Larxene, tells Lauriam that her Chirithy saw white-robed Strelitzia walking through Daybreak Town with a figure that we know as Luxu. Maybe this is her data backup. Now, to enter the realm of speculation for a minute, a later cutscene depicts Luxu placing an unconscious figure wrapped in a white blanket who he calls the True Dandelion into an Ark, the escape pods that allowed the Union leaders to escape the apocalyptic Daybreak Town. This blanket-wrapped figure could be Strelitzia since we saw them together earlier. However, the blanket is different from the cloak we saw, and there's no explanation for why Strelitzia would suddenly be unconscious. So we'll have to look for more evidence in the future as to who this is. That's the last we've seen of Strelitzia, though. In Marluxia's boss fight in Chain of Memories, the female figure appears to be, probably retroactively, based on Strelitzia, but obviously it isn't actually her. And now, back to the modern day, Strelitzia reappears to Sora in Quadratum, confirming that she is dead and in an afterlife. But that is all I can say about Strelitzia for now. Hopefully you're fully caught up and are ready to meet her in Kingdom Hearts 4.